Good morning. This is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome all of you to our 15-minute daily motivational call. If you're right-handed, take your right hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand. Pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself, great job for being here this morning. Type into the chat, today is a great day. Today is a great day. And I'd also love it if you would share what part of the world are you joining us from today. Type that in the chat as well. And today is Friday. And there is a mindset to Friday. And some people are like, well, Friday, kind of just go through the motions on Friday, or I'm supposed to work a full day, but I'm only going to work a half a day. There's nothing wrong with working a half day if that's your intention. But if today, like I'm working a full day. So if you're like me, if you are going to do a full day today or a half day or whatever you're going to work today, what I want you to do is take today through the finish line. Take today through the finish line. So what is your finish line in terms of your workday? Mine is 5 o'clock today. So I'm going to take today until 5 o'clock. So if you want to type into the chat, what is your finish line? Type that down in the chat. And I want to encourage you to have a great attitude today, because who decides what your attitude is going to be? You decide what your attitude is going to be. And I'm going to share with you one of my favorite ideas from Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill, he passed in 1970. And fortunately for me and for any of you that love Napoleon Hill, he wrote a bunch of books, and he created some audios out there and videos that you can find on YouTube, and you can find his content. You can probably get his entire library for a couple $100, have everything he's ever created. And he just did a really nice job of documenting the success principles that he learned. And I'm going to tell you I'll give you my two favorite Napoleon Hill ideas. And the first idea is, he called it in Laws of Success, definite chief aim. And later on in Think and Grow Rich, he called it definiteness of purpose. And I want to tell you a quick story about this. And it's about my dad. And my father, he's still alive. He is a pharmacist, although he's not active in the pharmacy anymore, but he still does pharmacy related things. And my dad in his 20s, I don't know that he ever read Think and Grow Rich, but he did the principle, consciously or unconsciously, definiteness of purpose. My father planted his flag in pharmacy, and he said, this is what my career is going to be about. And he spent over 50 years in that profession. One of the few people on the planet that ever logged 50 years in a profession. And a full-time year is 2,000 hours. 50 weeks a year times 40 hours a week is 2,000 hours. So my dad logged over 100,000 hours in pharmacy. One of the only human beings ever to walk the earth and do 100,000 hours in anything. And towards the end of his career, he received an award called the Remington Award. And it's a lifetime achievement award in pharmacy. It's one pharmacist a year that gets it. So it's very exclusive. It's a very prestigious award. And it was never his goal. It's just something that got created out of planting his flag and definiteness of purpose, which was to do a career in pharmacy. And so one of the things that happens when we're around people is they influence us. It doesn't have to be a parent, right? In this case, it was my dad. And my dad never told me, son, what I want you to do is pick a profession and plant your flag. We never had that conversation. But it's something that I did because I just observed in him. I watched him get up and go to work every day and go to his pharmacy. And so I did that with sales training. And in 1999, I started my company and I planted my flag and I said, this is what my life's going to be about. Now, not everybody's life goes that way. Some people do many different professions. But that's how I've chosen to create my life. And that's how I choose to create my future. So I don't have any vision to retire. I'm going to be a sales trainer. I'm going to do this work. I'm going to motivate and encourage people and serve people until it's all said and done. Right? And if my dreams happen, I'm going to do it until I'm 89 years old. That's one of my dreams. I want to be like Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson's still performing. And last time I saw him perform, he's 89 years old. I want to be like Willie Nelson. So I want you to think about that for your remaining years of your career. I want you to think about that idea of planting your flag as a possibility. It's not the only possibility. It's not like that's the right thing to do. It's just a thing to do that I have found really serves me. And if you're interested in learning more about definiteness of purpose, you can look it up in Think and Grow Rich, or just Google Napoleon Hill definiteness of purpose. And there's some really great content out there about that. Before we go any further, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge you for being here right now. The fact that you're here, you're being intentional about creating your day. You're saying, you know what? You're doing this consciously or subconsciously. You're saying inputs matter. What you put into your mind matters. And right now you're allowing me to put my ideas in your mind to encourage you and to have my enthusiasm positively impact your day so you can go out and have a great day today. Because who creates our enthusiasm? It's an inside job. Okay. It's an inside job. But when we're around people that are enthusiastic, it can get us excited and plant that seed in our mind. Hey, maybe I can be more enthusiastic today. And I want to give you this one other Napoleon Hill idea. And it's really had a deep impact on me. And it's accurate thinking. Having accurate thinking about your greatness. And for me, growing up, I never really achieved in anything. I mean, my life right now, it's a life about goal setting. I live a life of peak performance. I live a life of, bringing great effort every day. I live a life of consistency. That's who I am now, but that's not who I was. And I ended up in community college. Nothing wrong with that. I went for 5 years, never graduated. I'm still a couple of units shy of that elusive AA degree. I used to be a cook at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with that. But that's who I was at that point in my life. Junior college, cook at McDonald's, college dropout, went into sales, bottom producer for a whole year in sales. And I had a very low opinion of myself. So I had inaccurate thinking about my greatness. See, who I am today, I was that person back then. But I wasn't present to the fact that I have a purpose in life. But you do too. See, you could be watching this right now, and if I go, do you have a purpose in life? You're like, I don't know. You might have that thought, or maybe you're crystal clear on it. But I'm telling you with 100% certainty, you have a purpose in life. You also were born with natural gifts and talents. Have you ever thought of that before? Are you aware of what your natural gifts and talents are? Because see, what a lot of people do is, let's say there's this woman and she's very attractive physically. And anybody that saw her be like, wow, that's a beautiful woman. And so you compliment this woman. You say, you're a really beautiful woman. And you know what some women will do? They'll dodge the compliment. You're giving them the compliment, and instead of receiving the compliment, it's like they're a boxer dodging a punch because they're uncomfortable receiving acknowledgement. And this is many people. This is where I was when I was growing up. When I was a cook at McDonald's, I lacked confidence. I didn't know I had a purpose in life. I didn't know I had natural gifts and talents. I didn't know I had greatness inside of me. So I was operating from that position of average and ordinary. That's who I am. Because that's how I thought that people saw me. So if people see me as average and ordinary, that must be who I am. And then I got around Dante Pirano, my first mentor. And Dante started speaking confidence into me. And I started seeing what existed in me, but through Dante. And then it was Dr. Moyne or Tony Martinez or Tony Robbins or Les Brown or these various people, Steve Hardison, that I've had come into my life. And I was like, oh, that's who I am. In other words, accurate thinking about my greatness. Forget about me. This isn't about me. This is about you. Do you know how awesome you are? Do you know how talented you are? Do you know what a beautiful human being you are? I want you to think about that. I want you to I want you to doubt your doubts. If you have doubts about yourself, doubt your doubts. And I want you to sit with what I'm telling you and go, is what Eric's saying true? Do I have greatness inside of me? Am I a beautiful human being? Is that true? Do I have a purpose in life? Do I have many purposes in life? One of my purposes is to be the stepdad to my stepdaughters. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be change the world. Unless that is your purpose. Nothing wrong. It's great. If your purpose is change the world. Bill W. started Alcoholics Anonymous. He changed the world. That human being's one of the most significant human beings to ever walk the earth. But that's not most people. Right? It doesn't have to be change the world. Your purpose could be to be a great wife or a great husband or a great mom or a great dad or all of it. Great son. Be a great employee. I believe if you connect with it, you have a purpose in life, it'll increase your confidence. So let's all go out there, guys. Let's have a fantastic Friday. Whatever producing is for you, I want you to produce. And I want to give one last little very quick message to anybody who is going to be spending time with a loved one tonight, right? Is to be present. Whoever you're with, be present. Put your phone down. We're all addicted to our phones. When I say all, maybe you're not. Most people are. I'm addicted to my phone, right? Put the phone down and be present and have a great, enjoyable evening with whoever you're going to spend time with tonight if you're going to be with a loved one. As you go through your day today, have a great attitude. Come from kindness. We'll do it again next week, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.